I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. And I sure do love my job. Yeah. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. I'm born to preach the gospel. And I sure do love my job. Yeah. Yes, I really love my job. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Oh, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Yes, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Get firmly rooted. So let's get firmly rooted. Let's get firmly rooted. So let's get firmly rooted. Oh, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Let's get firmly rooted. Firmly rooted. Let's get firmly rooted. Yeshua, 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 Yeshua. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. We're disciples that make disciples that make disciples. We are disciples that make disciples that make disciples. We are disciples that make disciples that make disciples. Let's get firmly rooted. Firmly rooted.
Hey, good morning, happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for jumping on. I can leave that on there. Yeah, good morning. Today, good morning. I know, so today I want to talk about love and truth. I always feel the need to do qualifying statements, but I know a lot of people hate those, so I'm not going to do them. I'm just going to jump in. But yeah, today, good morning. I want to talk about love and truth and how you can't have one without the other, especially when we're talking about the gospel and preaching the gospel and just doing life with people. It's always got to be love and truth. Love won't save anyone. Just strictly, loving people, liking people. But then also truth isn't the gospel that Jesus preached. And so it's the rod and the staff. We need both. And so sometimes, we get caught up in different facets of the gospel, and we don't say the whole story, right? Or we just I'm just gonna love this person, and never have that tough conversation, or never have that. I give you this example. I rode up on this guy who was good morning. He had just finished rolling a joint, and he was about to light it, and we start talking, and my first question was, "Hey man, how are you in Jesus?" And it's like a conversation. It's going good. He was saying, "Good morning, good morning. Thanks for jumping on, guys." And he was telling me about, or he was saying that me and Jesus are awesome. Like he's my best friend, and all that stuff. And there was a moment where it was like, what, I need to bring some truth, and my next response, or my response to him was, Jesus loves you so much that he would tell you that if you keep going in this direction, it's going to destroy you. And it was like one of those, awkward moments where like there was kind of silence, but at the end of it, he was so appreciative that I would say truth. I'll speak out, a harsh word, and sometimes it calls for that. Like sometimes like we need to step out of our comfort zone, step out of these places where it's just fluffy rainbows, and that was like the guy who came into my dorm room all those years ago. It was a hard message. It wasn't, come to Jesus and everything's gonna get better, everything's gonna get good, because on the outside, right, it looked like my life was good. I was a collegiate athlete and on a championship team, and but it needed I needed some truth to be spoken to me, and there's so many out there that need some truth. Now, not just truth, right? It's always the truth and love. People, you got to build rapport. You got to build some relationship. And people trust you, and know that you have a heart for them before you drop that truth on them, right? And I do want to say this because there's also been those times where, say, I'm leading an outreach, right? I've just trained people in evangelism, and now I'm taking them out to the street. And I get into this performance mode, right? I get into this like, man, I gotta show them, I gotta impress them, and very much so, like it's all flesh, right? I'm doing evangelism strictly out of the flesh, and this kind of performance thing. And I want to say this, that all the fruits of the Spirit, the giftings of the Spirit, the things of the Spirit are not originated out of performance, but yet naturally occur in the spirit of rest, and when we're resting in Him and who He is, and being sons. And in those times where we get into this striving, it's good to just take a break, right? Take a pause and say, God, like, would you lead me? Where are we going? What's on your heart? And so in those situations, it's not like, man, I gotta drop this truth bomb, but actually still being led by the Holy Spirit, right? Still being led by Him always. God, what are you doing? What are you up to? Right? A lot of times, like, scripture will pop in our hearts that we've been, reading the morning before we went out, or the devotion that we went to. A lot of times, God leads us to people who need that same thing, and so, come on, you can speak it out without judgment, yeah. But I think as long as there's love behind it, right? Like when people know your heart, they know your heart towards them. Even if, it shouldn't be received in the spirit of judgment, right? It should be received as a brother, like or a sister, coming with concern. And so, yeah, I hope this blesses you and encourages you guys this morning. But yeah, do everything with truth and love. We don't want to shy away from conversations. We don't want to avoid questions or topics. We want people to know our hearts, but then also know what we stand for, and that we represent God, right? I never want to say something or agree with something that would grieve his heart. So, yeah, again, hope this blesses you. Love you guys. Yeah. All right. Peace.